Before starting this video, or as we like to say in Ingenio this clip, I wanted to apologize for the length of the previous clip, but I thought it was important to present all the modifications in a single video to avoid any student to switch between two videos in case we decided to divide them in two. Well, to compensate now, we will see a much simpler topic, which is also very important in the daily work of an engineer, and is the good documentation of the calculations. To do this, in this example, we are going to annotate the structure dimensions, we are going to choose which layers to see and which layers not to see, we are going to insert a print entry with our structure in the calculation report, create a text print entry with all the data of our structure, and we will enter the Cubus viewer, which is the tool that Cubus has, and that will allow us to view these print entries, modify them, and generate the report. Let's start by annotating the structure. The normal layers, for example, the layer with the bars, you can activate it or deactivate it. The layer with the nodes, the supports, you activate or deactivate it. Or for example, this layer with the bar sections, we also know that we can activate it or deactivate it. There is one thing that is used a lot, and that is, use the option that the layer that you choose is the only selectable one. I mean, if I do it like this right now, I am selecting, as we know, the support and the bar. And if I try now to edit the properties of both, well, nothing happens because they do not have common properties. They are not elements that I can edit at the same time. It is interesting then to be able to select only elements of a certain nature, but making a quick selection. For example, if we only want to be able to select bars, we go here to the bars icon of the layers and tell it to be the only selectable one. So once that's done, when we do like this, you see, the support is not being selected. So, this is an interesting application when you have a three-dimensional structure with many supports and many bars. Furthermore, the layers have a very obvious behavior that does not need to be explained, but if we want to annotate a structure, that annotation will go to a special layer, which is the user layer. As you can see, down here is the user layer, and it is a special layer because it is the only one that you have to activate. You have to click on the right button and say that you want to activate it. Notice that, as soon as we do this, on the left, a series of tools that were not activated before will activate. Among them, the dimensioning tool, which is the one we are going to use. You click and we see that they all appear. So these are elements that we can use to write texts, to help the documentation of the drawing, but what is usually used is the annotation. Then click on the dimension lines, and from there, it is very easy. Just follow what the program says. Select the X or Y direction, then you say X, for example, this one here. Where do you want to put the dimension? Here. And from where to where do you want to annotate? From here to there. And that's it. You hit escape when you want to finish that annotation and start over again. If you want to do more, we position the dimension there, and then we can dimension from here to here. And if we also want to, we hit escape again, and we annotate. And we say that we want to annotate this from here to there. And the last dimension, well, also, according to direction X, we put it here and we dimension it from here to here. We hit escape and F3 to focus. And we remove the layer of the sections, for example. And well, we would already have our structure a little bit more documented. Now, what can we do now? Introduce this graphical printout in a calculation report. Then, with the help of these buttons that will allow us to print directly, or to insert a print entry, or this one that we will see later, which is to open the Cubus viewer. We are going to create a print entry, and we simply say, okay, we want to create the entry. The templates we'll see a little bit later, they are great. If you have ever suffered preparing the calculation report of a structure, and when you have the full report, something changes and you have to start all over again. In static, it is not necessary. Once you change a bar, even if you have done the whole report, you click on Update and the whole report is updated, so it's amazing. This is especially valuable when you are preparing your report in a hurry. So, well, we create the print entry and that's it. A print entry is generated in the calculation report.